what did it do to you? What self-confidence did it give to you that you would recommend to other children and people to follow that path of at least training some self-defense? Why?
I mean, a lot of it's a discipline, just the mental discipline, you know, how to take care of your body, how to train your body, understanding your body, how it works, how to move. But, you know, like I said, like just in case, like you feel confident, like if something happens, at least I know I can do enough to keep myself safe and get out of the situation before something bad happens. You don't want it to get to a point where all of a sudden you're on the ground and people are on top. Like, you don't want that to happen. So it gives you that confidence to know, worst case, I can defend myself. Best case, I'll do a lot more.
You going to sleep?
Yeah, first 6 rounds, I was in control, like cruising. No problem. Really, 7th round, I started noticing myself wear down. It was more physically. I could feel my body going down, and just the power wasn't there, speed wasn't there. The whole fight, I'm countering everything. I'm setting the pace. I'm creating all the offense. He couldn't figure out what to do. He couldn't figure out how to stop me, keep him off him, and I was just foot on the gas. But that weight cut at 154 was a big difference.
Were you running back in the catch weight?
Oh, yeah. They wouldn't, but I would.
Welcome back to another episode of Van Stale. Thank you all for viewing and subscribing. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. The best is yet to come. Today's guest is a hard-hitting middleweight from Massachusetts, now residing in Miami, Florida, with a record of 11-1 and all his wins by knockout. We have Drew Tomahawk Dwelly. Thank you for coming, bro.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Appreciate it, man. The drive here wasn't too long, though, right?
Nah, it was a little further than I thought, but not too bad. Yeah.
Where in Hialeah you at now?
East Hialeah.
Oh, okay.
He's in the grain right there,
That's
dog.
not too bad, bro.
Yeah, nah, it wasn't too bad.
All right. Bro.
Why East Hialeah though? You just love Hialeah? What do you love about Hialeah? I'm gonna put you on the spot right now.
The food.
The food?
But I work there, so it's
okay.
convenient. I work across the street from where I live, so that makes it that much easier.
Those white beans and black beans. Those white rice and black beans.
What white beans you be eating, boy?
Yeah. Well, no, hey, white beans are good. Those pinto beans are fire. Talking about the beans and all that stuff. Tomahawk. Why Tomahawk?
My middle name is Thomas, so my dad always called me Tomahawk when I was a kid. So.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so for whatever reason, he always called me that. And then when I started boxing, we started thinking, like, what do we need for a nickname? We need something like unique, something different, going through all kinds of things. And he threw that out there, so we just went with that.
Tomahawk steak is fire. Let me just put that out there.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know if you like steak, but I know you might be vegan.
Yeah.
I don't know. You never know.
I love the steak, yeah.
Yeah, no.
And then once we came up with the name, it was like just come up with the design. That's
fire.
I had some ideas of stuff put together, and then had a buddy of mine from home that was an artist that threw some ideas out to him, and he put it all together and came up with the design.
That's a fire design, though. Mm-hmm. They need to give us one of those shirts, champ.
Yeah, no,
Damn.
Yeah, you do.
I got
fire.
you guys.
Drew, how did we meet, bro?
Way back in the amateur days when I first started boxing. That was close to when you stopped boxing, actually. But yeah, we started when I was at Kangaroo.
What tournament was the first tournament that we fought at together? Was it the Golden Gloves?
Might have been the Golden Gloves, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I only had like one fight before the Golden Gloves, so
yeah,
that was the first one. Yeah.
I remember you knocked like 2 dudes out cold, bro.
yeah.
You were big though. You were swole. I remember.
I was like 180 actually, but I looked way bigger. I had a lot of guys coming up to me thinking I was like a super heavyweight. They thought I was a lot bigger.
Yeah, because you're not the tallest either, so like the frame was like wide at the bottom.
Made me look a lot bigger. Yeah.
At what age did you start boxing?
27.
Pretty late in the game.
Yeah, really.
That's how old I am now.
Yeah, I started real late.
So let's talk about why you started boxing. You played baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Walk us through it.
So I played football, basketball, and baseball in high school, and then.
You're just an athlete.
Yeah, when I was going to college, really football was what I wanted to play. Size-wise, baseball made more sense. Had a lot more offers for football than baseball. And then I decided to play baseball. I played up near Boston. Transferred down to Miami after my first year, and played my last 3 years at Barry in Miami. And then I got bored after that. It was like, what am I doing? I'm going to work and going to the gym. there was like nothing else. It was like there's got to be more than just this. So I had a buddy actually that I played baseball with in college, and he found a little boxing gym and wanted to start, and that was how we started.
Where was the boxing gym at? The first boxing gym that you went to? Do you recall?
Like Little Havana, like over there somewhere, and we were there for like a couple weeks, and then
Right by the bridge.
yeah,
When you across, like if you're going to Jackson Hospital type of stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
There was
I
like
know.
some little spot right
Yeah,
on
I
the
know
corner.
exactly where that gym
Went to
is
some
at.
dude there for like a couple weeks, and then
That gym's still there.
is it really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's funny. That gym's
Yeah.
old.
Yeah. So we did that, and then we went to, I think I started with Maori after that, and then went over to Kangaroo from there.
Maybe that's how I met you with Mari.
Could have been that, yeah.
I didn't know that you trained with Mari.
Yeah, for I don't know, 6 or 8 months. It was
Mari's
Little
really
bit.
underrated, man, but he's
yeah.
a real talented coach.
Taught me a lot of stuff like psychologically about the sport,
That too.
about how to take people deeper than what they think mentally, and a lot of things that you could do to take away, make them feel more tired than what they are. Like, he was just
He went to
was
school
very
for that.
smart, very
People
very
don't know.
smart psychologically. A lot of things that he taught me.
Yeah, he went to school and stuff. I know.
Mm.
Really educated.
He has like 2-3 degrees and like training and a bunch of stuff.
A whole
Yeah.
bunch of shit.
And after Mari, you started training with Ameth, Abel's dad.
Yeah, it was Mauri. I think was gonna try to go over to that gym and partner with them. So he had me go over there, and then I stayed there, went over there, and then whatever happened with that didn't end up happening. But then I just ended up staying over there. He was more focused on the play boxing business,
Right.
so it was made more sense to me to stay over there, and learned a lot at Kangaroo. Very good. Amit is very good, like technically, very good with that stuff, and learned a lot from Abel too, and being a lot more experienced and stuff. So that was like where my foundation really started.
With the Cuban school, baby.
Yeah.
The Cuban boxing program.
And he, for starting at 27 years old, he has very good technique. He's very sound. Like his fundamentals are
10-0
good
with-
because you got the Cuban school and all that. You got
Yeah.
good fundamentals.
Yeah, that's the big thing with me is like when I get my mindset on something, that's all I do. So once I started boxing, I pretty much never missed a day since the day I started. So I'm not gonna go in and be like do it halfway. Yeah, I'm gonna go all the way and make sure I learn it right.
I feel that.
Before you getting into the sport, though, did you ever follow boxing or not really?
Not really.
No?
I mean, I like the bigger name guys, Tyson, Roy Jones.
But you never really followed the sport?
But not like that. Nah. Really, I just started doing it just for the workout. I just wanted to do it just because, like, you never know. You never know when you need it. You never know. You go out to dinner with your girlfriend, you're walking back to the car, and some asshole. Like, you just never know. You just, so it was like, all right, let's learn. Why not? Then I started learning and just being athletic. I was picking up on things a little bit quicker. And then I was already, like, had power because from baseball I transferred over. So it was like.
Nah, you born with that, bro. I don't care what you
Maybe,
say
but
about
that-
baseball. None of that. I don't give a crap. You born with that, bro. You
Nah,
just
maybe,
born with
You
it.
are born with that, yeah.
It definitely helped
Yeah.
the sports, like understanding how to use the body and that kind of
For
stuff.
sure.
So,
For sure.
it just picked up. And then the more being competitive with myself, I'm like, all right, I'm learning a little bit. Let me put it to the test. And my first fight, actually, without even having sparring. So the first fight, and it was like, all right, I got to do, like, and I just kept wanting to learn more and winning fights and stuff, and was like, I need to keep pushing it.
You said something. You said something about just in case. You starting boxing for just in case. Some asshole in the street, like you stated. I have little brothers that I would love for them to train like I did. I started training at very little. I would love for them to follow that path, not to compete, not even to compete, just to have that self-confidence that you talked about. And I want to clip this right now. Why or what did it do to you? What self-confidence did it give to you that you would recommend to other children and people to follow that path of at least training some self-defense, and why?
I mean, a lot of it's a discipline, just the mental discipline, how to take care of your body, how to train your body, understanding your body, how it works, how to move. But, like I said, like just in case, like you feel confident, like if something happens, at least I know I can do enough to keep myself safe and get out of the situation before something bad happens. You don't want it to get to a point where all of a sudden you're on the ground and people are on top. Like, you don't want that to happen. So it gives you that confidence to know, worst case, I can defend myself. Best case, do a lot more.
He going to sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the self-confidence, though, that you know how to throw that right hand.
Yeah.
You know how to throw that left hook.
Yeah.
So if this guy stands in front of you, you know that you're going to throw that.
Yeah.
You know, when you don't know how to defend yourself, you don't know how to fight, yeah, you're going to throw a punch if you have balls, but you ain't going to do it right.
Right. And you're going to be nervous. You're going to be scared. You're going to be like...
You doubt.
You're going to second guess. You might delay too much.
Exactly.
You don't throw the first punch in a street fight. If you don't, you're in a lot of trouble.
You might go to sleep.
So you know you can land a punch, you can land a body shot, not break your hands, not cause a big scene, get away. Like you don't have to worry about a lot of things where you can handle situations.
And one of the most important things, all three of us know how to box, and we can all agree to this, is the distance. Keeping your distance. When most people we see in the street fight, what do? They get in each other's face, start screaming.
Yeah,
we ain't doing that, boy. You gonna keep.
And most people, as loud as they want to get, they're really not that confident. So
facts.
What do they want to do? They want to tackle you. They want to go to the ground.
Yeah.
Because they feel it's safer.
Exactly.
So they want to be close to you because they think they can intimidate you, and that's gonna make you de-escalate. So all right, fight's over. You don't have to.
Goodbye.
You're safe.
Facts.
That space is really important, though.
Yeah, space, that distance, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, no, you started boxing because you want to have that experience on you just in case there's something between the line that ever happened. A little altercation, a little I don't know. You never know. Somebody eyeballing you or I don't know. Did you ever have to use it or what?
Nah, I really never did. I mean, I'm friends with most people, so I don't really like have a lot of problems with people and stuff, and I'm more quiet than I'm not like talkative, like cause problems and stuff. So I don't really have like a lot of enemies or anything. So,
but if it goes down, you already know. Lights out. You got 10 knockouts already, so you know how to use your punches.
11 knockouts.
11. No, it's 10. 10 or 11. 11.
But he's only been in the game for 8 years, so we don't know. Maybe of the next 2-3 years, he might sleep somebody.
Hopefully not, though.
Nah. You've gotten a lot of work with Abel. How's that work been, bro? I haven't really asked that question to anybody. What's it like working with Abel? He's very talented, one of the most talented guys coming out of Florida.
Yeah, I mean, he's very technical, very, very technical. So it's like when I was first starting, when I was younger, less experienced.
You're still young, bro.
It was a lot of like, he would work down to my level to help me get better and explain things to me so it made me understand you can do this, you can do that. A lot of my moves I took from him. He knows that too because we talk about it, we joke about it all the time. But a lot of the counters, a lot of things that I do, I got from him because I saw him doing it. I saw it being effective on other people. Saw it being effective on me. So it was like, okay, I'm gonna use that. Every little thing I see from a lot of people that I feel like I can do, I try to use. I try to take all kinds of little things that I can get from whoever I can get them from. So working with him has been good with a lot of different things. He's talking about the distance. He's one of the best at that.
He's long too.
He's long, but he understands the distance. You see, he makes things miss by such a short distance, and he's very, very smart, very technical, and it's not like he's overly fast, overly powerful, but he's accurate. Every punch counts. He doesn't miss. He does a lot of things that are very good. So it was a guy that it was like you can pick up a lot of good things from him for that.
Yeah, his precision and distance is top notch.
Yeah.
I know you said that he would work down to your level, but now that you're a pro and you guys get in work now, does it get tougher now?
Yeah, I mean, it depends because now we're in two different weights. I mean, we're always in two. He was always a little bit heavier, but he's fighting a weight class up. And then when he's not in fighting shape, he's a little bit heavier. So it depends sometimes, but we still work together sometimes and still do stuff. And we have that mutual respect, though, where it doesn't get intense. We'll go hard, but it's...
Right.
we
keep it respectful, and nobody's gonna take advantage. If anybody lands something that is a little bit hard, you back off and make sure nobody takes it to that level.
Yeah, Abel's always been respectful.
Yeah,
like
and his dad too. They know the game. Yeah. What other big names have you sparred?
Probably the biggest, Baboon, from the bare knuckle stuff. So I've been his sparring partner for a handful of his fights, but his
Louis, right? That's his name.
Yeah,
Louis
Palomino.
He's Peruvian, right? I think he's Peruvian, yeah.
So he's he is. A lot of people don't understand how good of a boxer he actually is. He's a very good boxer. So people know he does the MMA, the bare knuckle, that kind of stuff, and they think he's more of that kind of fighter, but he's more of a boxer than anything because he's boxed since he was little. So that's really where his specialty is, and he's very good, very strong, very fast. He never takes his foot off the gas pedal. He's coming forward. You hit him with a brick.
He's coming back.
Doesn't blink. He just keeps coming. Yeah, so that's some of the best sparring that I've had is
you guys
him.
Train in the same gym? No, he trains with Tiger, right?
Yeah, he trains over there, but he'll come to our gym for sparring and stuff, and then, like I said, for a handful of his fights, I've been sparring partners for some of his world title fights.
Hold on. I don't want to take it to the future, but do you see yourself in bare knuckle fighting?
I don't know. I mean, the thing that worries me the most is the hands.
Breaking hands, man,
because having power, you got to learn how to pull back on that power a little bit.
You can't go off. Yeah, you can't
go all out. And then if it doesn't land perfect, hits the side of their head or something,
you still
even a body shot hit an elbow. Now, what kind of damage you do yourself during the fight? You might not have knocked him out. You keep fighting with that. It's just that's more of my concern than anything because. I mean, it's not like I'm the best defensive fighter ever, but I don't get hit a ton. So I know how to absorb the punches and stuff. So really, it's my hands that really.
It's easy to catch the shots with the gloves, but
it's a big difference. You have to make a miss. It's
dangerous.
It's a very different sport. Yeah.
So boy, they're paying pretty good money. I don't know how true it is, but they're paying good money.
That's what I hear. Yeah.
So,
I mean, the sport's blowing up and it's going. So.
What if the bag is good, though, Drew? What if the bag is good?
Hey, Drew, we're going to give you 50 racks right now.
Yeah.
Clean.
Then I might consider it, yeah.
He's like,
if that were the case,
let's get it.
That's what they're paying, supposedly.
I mean, as long as they're...
Not for a debut.
As long as they're taking care of any kind of injuries post-fight, then maybe
are they? Do you know if they are? Or
I don't know.
No.
If they are, then it's worth it. But if you're spending your whole fight press on... healing whatever is broken, then
there's no point.
Not worth it. Yeah.
You started your career. Your first 2 fights were draws. Tell me a little bit about that. Like you started in a kind of bumpy. Why was that?
Really just not. If you're not, you know how boxing is. If you're not really connected with the promoter, you're not this, you're not that. You're the new guy. You're the guy that they've never really heard of. They're not trying to take care of you.
Yeah,
they're not putting you in a good position. So. Debut, they're putting me with a guy with 10 fights or whatever.
Yeah, Cuban dude, Yandri or something.
And
Yandri Rodriguez.
He's fighting in light heavyweight, cruiserweight. They're trying to make him come down. He weighs in 10 pounds over. He's a guy from that promoter's gym. They didn't tell me I was fighting him till like 2 days before the fight. So didn't know they had me spar with him like a month before the fight.
Oh, yeah?
I was in their gym. Then they had me spar with 3 heavyweights. I'm like, I'm a 160. I don't know why I'm sparring with these guys. They think I'm bigger than what I am. So I spar with him and 2 other guys. 2 days before the fight, so I'm like, you have me spar with a guy. You know, I put it all together after. You have me spar with him. Then you have him come down. He weighs in 10 pounds over. You let it go. I mean, I could have said no, but I'm hyped up for my first fight. I'm like, nah, I want to fight. I don't. So I go in there. Honestly, I tore his ass up, but...
So you got to witness. You got to witness firsthand the dirtiness of this game.
Yeah. So, then right after the promoters come over, they try to sweet talk you. Oh, don't worry, next fight will take care of you. And I was like, nah. There were some other fights on the same card that ended up being draws, and it was just some different things, and a lot of people talking about similar things happening to them with those promoters. So,
can you speak on the promoters that they were? If you want to throw them out there,
M&R. I don't really know. I don't past that. I don't really know like a whole lot about them. Got introduced to them a month or 2 before the fight. Got hooked up with the fight. Sold a bunch of tickets. Brought some people. That's what they did. So just left that. Next one was a similar situation, just toward the Tampa area, like the west coast of Florida.
Bonita Springs.
So it was just a weird situation. Get out there. They put me with some MMA guy that didn't know how to box, looking wild as hell, going crazy. And things went the way they went. I mean, it was like you still win the fight. You're landing punches, doing whatever. Didn't get hit once. He's running around the ring, throwing crazy, wild punches, and they caught a draw. So, but he was one of the promoters' guys. He was one of his, like,
clan
circles. So, it is what it is. And
How do you stay consistent though, man? You know, you train professional, losing your first 2 fights. How do you stay committed to the sport? Like, damn, like, how do you keep yourself motivated?
I mean, it's really like, I got the self-motivation, so I don't need, like, other people are going to look at that. They're going to talk about you. They're going to look down. They're going to do whatever, but I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it for me. So it was like, I knew I was better than that. I knew I won the fights. I knew they went the way they went, but it was out of my control. So I controlled what I can control, and the rest, I just moved on and just said, forget it. I'm going to prove. And then it was like, more of a mental note, can't let the judges take control of it. So now it's like you just got to start putting people down, and you can't be a boxer. I'm not really a boxer. I'm a fighter. So it's time to just start being a fighter and just end fights. There's no point to box because that's what can happen.
Right. Then you started knocking everybody out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Literally.
you went on an 11 win streak, all 11 by knockout.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got this fight with Antonio Tarver. Walk us through that fight a little bit. I know you were dominating the early rounds. What ended
Great
up
fight,
happening
too.
in that fight? Yeah.
Yeah. So
Antonio Tarver's son. So
yeah. So I guess first 6 rounds, I was in control, like cruising, no problem. Really, 7th round, I started noticing myself wear down. It was more physically. I could feel my body going down, and just the power wasn't there, speed wasn't there. The whole fight, I'm countering everything. I'm setting the pace. I'm creating all the offense. He couldn't figure out what to do. He couldn't figure out how to stop me, keep him off him, and I was just foot on the gas. But that weight cut at 154 was a big difference, and it was something that while I'm sparring, I'm not at that weight. So I'm at my normal 160, 165, and I'm fine. Sparring every day, but once I get into that, now it's weights down there, it was a big difference. It took me like 3 weeks to gain the weight back after the fight because
really?
it just took such a toll on my body. But like I said, round 7, I started slowing down, and 7 and 8, my body just couldn't handle the weight, and it was just the exhaustion.
yeah, the weight cut just fatigued your whole body.
Would you run it back in a catch weight?
Oh, yeah. They wouldn't, but I would. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would run it back at that weight because, like I said, I was in control. It really wasn't even like that difficult of a fight. It wasn't like I wasn't having that hard of a time early on. It was just made a few mistakes that probably missed a few big punches that drained more energy than I needed to. So in a better situation, land those punches and don't miss those big ones. I'll last a few more rounds, and the fight goes the way it goes. But that was another thing is his dad, former world champ, in their promotion,
It's a big name.
city,
It's a big
in
name.
their gym. I'm not winning.
Pro box, right?
Yeah.
Who are you signed to? Are you signed to
Nobody.
anybody? You're independent right now.
Yeah. So it was like
You had to stop him.
It's a knockout or you lose. There's no way around it. So you're not beating that name on a decision. You're not beating in their gym, in their promotion,
It's hard.
in their city. No,
You would
no
have
way.
to beat his ass every round.
And even that would have been shaky.
Yeah.
It would have been
Questionable.
Draw, maybe.
So yeah, you don't know, and I wasn't taking that chance. And they're not going to give a draw because it was for a title. BC is there with a belt. They're not going to say, "Oh, it's a draw." They're like, "Nah, we're here with a belt. Somebody's getting it." So you put yourself in that position. I learned that early on, the first 2 fights. It's knockout or go home. So either you're going to stop me or I'm going to stop you.
If the
one or other.
opportunity came again for an even bigger bag at 154, would you do it, or it's not worth the risk?
It'd have to be big. It'd have to be worth it because my health is worth more than a little bit more, a little bit of a payday. So if it was worth it, I mean, really, nobody's going to be calling me for $1 million fight. So it's not going to be worth it for me because it's, like I said, it's my health and my, that's more worth it than a small payday. So it'd have to be 160 for it to make sense.
I mean, you just got to stay campaigning at 160.
Yeah.
And that's about it. You have a fight coming up, right, in June?
Yeah, June
24th.
24th, yeah.
Do you have an opponent, or
Nah, not yet.
is it here in the States?
Boston.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Going back
Yeah.
home. That's lit.
Yeah, I've had a couple up there with these promoters, and it's with Ryan Roach is one of the promoters, Freddie Roach's nephew. So it's with them. I've had a couple up there with them so far, so I've gotten to fight in front of the hometown crowd and all that. So go back there and do that again and make a comeback after the loss. Get in there and
Make a statement
and get a nice win, and then see where it goes from there.
How many fights do you see yourself fighting in 2023?
The more the better. We'll see. See how it goes. We'll get this one, and then from there, I was actually supposed to fight in May in Miami.
Oh yeah.
But to have May and June is too close.
Too close.
So gonna have that one in June because I was already set up for that one. So we're gonna do that, and then maybe one or two more as quick as we can, and then hopefully get a call for something big, or if there's another belt that presents itself, try to go for that.
So Drew, go ahead.
Go. You go ahead.
You
Go ahead, Drew. You're the other Drew. Go ahead, Andrew.
All right, Drew.
What's cutting me off and shit?
So quick question, man. Is there somebody in that weight class that I know you said you're gonna have 2 or 3 fights this year? Is there somebody in that weight class that you're looking at that has a little bit of a name, has some some clout that you want at 160?
Nah, nobody in particular.
No.
It's really, I'm really more focused on what I can do more than everybody else. So I'm not sitting there trying to pick everybody else out and trying to look at who I want to go after, because it's like I'm going for my goals and things that I want to do. So, I mean, I've gotten some calls for some other fights for different things, top-ranked fights, ESPN and stuff, but it's like you're either underpaying or it's not worth. It's like, or they're trying to set you up with somebody that's already like 21-0, stuff like that, and it's like stuff that doesn't really make sense, but it's really not helping me on the path to the things that I want to achieve. So it really doesn't make sense.
Do you have some names of who was those people?
Actually, I got one call from Ali's grandson.
Oh, really?
When he was gonna have his debut, it was like, I don't know, a year and a half ago or something, whatever it was, when he was gonna have his debut, and they called because at the time I was at 5th Street, and they were like, you're at his grandfather's gym. It's his grandfather's,
What was your
all that?
What was your record at the time?
I don't know, it was like 2-0 or 3-0 or something. It was not far along, and he was having his debut, so it made sense record wise. And then being at 5th Street and all that, they were trying to make it like a big thing, and
like a beef, basically, like
they were trying to make it a big, like, it was a good story for
right.
ESPN to put. So I told them, and they never called back. But I mean, you've seen who he's fought, so that's why.
Well, let me since you brought that up, let me say something about that. He's not very developed as a boxer, so that's actually a good fight for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying he's trash or no slouch, but that's a good fight for you.
Yeah.
It's a winnable fight, in other words.
That's why right away, like, I had never even heard of him. I didn't even know who he was. So they called, and I'm like, "Who the hell is this?" I'm like, "That's Ali's grandson. Maybe he's some guy you've never heard of, but he's good. He's gonna have good training. He's gonna have all the stuff." And then when I found out about him, I'm like,
I could beat this guy.
Let me get the papers right now.
Yeah, so I called them back and was like, "Yeah, I'll take that." And because when they called, they said they had like 3 or 4 people that they were reaching out to. So I'm sure they picked the worst of the 4 or whatever, and then went and, they're trying to make money off it. So they know the name is gonna make money. They know they got to make the right moves for him, for their,
the promotion.
He's moving right though, and he's learning every day.
He's being moved right.
He's definitely improved, but he's still
he's not in that A class
level.
He doesn't anytime soon.
He doesn't take his head out of the line of fire, so I could see a big overhand right catching him in the near future.
But he's learning though.
But every time he throws that right hand, which he has a good right hand, he throws it and he stays right there.
Yeah.
Like he's hittable, bro, and he's been cracked. Just hasn't been dropped.
And all he throws that overhand right.
Yeah,
it's just that big overhand right, and fighting guys that don't know how to get out of the way and don't know how to see it coming and just don't understand what they're doing.
Exactly.
And
that could be a fight between you guys, down the future.
It could be. I mean, if they call you again, fucking sign that shit ASAP. Don't hang up on that phone call until you sign that paper.
To, but they're not going to do that with him, because how does it benefit him? The fight's too tough for him.
Right.
So
they want to squeeze that name.
They're not going to build that hype to just have him lose too soon. So
right. So you're 35 now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to what age do you think that you'll stay in the sport for?
As long as I can do it.
As long as you can.
I mean, I enjoy
physically.
it. So really, I'm not doing it because like I need to. It's not my way out. I got a job. It's not like I'm not doing it because I have to. It's not my way to make a living and all that kind of stuff. So I'm doing it because I enjoy it. I love it. And I'll just do it until I don't like it anymore.
So what are your goals? Your main goals? Is it to be world champion? Is it to be a top contender? What?
I mean, I'm realistic, so I know starting so late, I knew from the start, like I'm not going to be making millions of dollars. I'm probably not going to be world champ. I mean, those things are maybes, but very small maybes, more than likely not. So I'm realistic with that. I understand that. If I had started when I was 7, okay, my thoughts would have been a lot different, but starting at 27, I realized where you're going to go, how people are going to treat you in the sport, how they're going to, they're going to set you up to try to be other people's stepping stone and stuff. So that's how it's going to go. So really, I want to get a belt. I want to win a belt because that's something that can never be taken from you.
But when you say a belt, what do you mean by a belt? Because there's
a belt that matters though. Like okay. I want a WBC. Like I want like a real belt.
Oh, like a world.
I want one of the 4
world
belts.
champion. Oh, okay.
Even if it's
that's big.
Even if it's not a world title, like regional belt. If it's something like when we fought Tarver for the NABF, it's a WBC belt. It's a recognized belt.
Yeah, regional, international.
Yeah, I don't want some
booty.
Some down the line like some stuff that don't matter. So
gotcha.
I can get some.
I mean, those small belts are the ones that get you ranked, and then by getting ranked, those how you get the big fights.
So that's an opportunity of like you said, like that small possibility. That's your angle to get there. But
got you.
And you never know, man.
You never know.
Never know.
You never know. Things could happen.
It could overturn your favor. You could be a world champion.
Yeah. You're never gonna say things can't happen, but I'm not gonna be setting my life on I have to be world champion because the possibilities are a lot slimmer than they are.
Hey, Hopkins was champion at 50.
Yeah. I mean, like I said,
just throwing that out there.
Everything's possible, but got to be realistic with it too, because you got to 100%.
I mean,
you got to set your. Because really, what it was like. After my first win, I had the surgery. I tore my bicep in the first win. I had the surgery.
That one, right?
This one.
Okay.
I had 2 partial tears here. That's why I look.
Oh, okay, like that.
This one looks. This one looks all crazy. But
why are you looking at him like that?
Because the bicep is right in front.
Oh, okay. No, don't worry about it.
This one's all fucked up. But this is the one I had the surgery on.
Okay.
So I tore it, and after the surgery, I started thinking like, okay, I need to make a game plan. I need to understand where I'm gonna go, how I'm gonna get there, and how I'm gonna do it with no manager, with no promoter, no nothing. At the time, no coach, like really no coach, nothing. I'm doing everything by myself. I'm going to the gym by myself, training by myself. So I'm like, where am I gonna go and how am I gonna get there? And let's set a plan. And I set a plan, and it was like, okay, by 10-0, I want to get to 10-0, and I want to try to fight for a belt. I did it at 11-0. That set a plan, and I just was like, okay, this is the amount of time I'm gonna give myself to get to that. And I did it. So I still have things that I'm trying to get to, and everything's been falling for the most part in place. So
what really caught my attention to you, man, that you're a full-time boxer basically, and you're a full-time teacher for special needs students.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about that.
Man, it's different. It's definitely 2 complete opposites. Definitely.
You gotta be like a calm dude, and then you gotta be a monster when you're in the ring. It's
2 completely different things. So it keeps you balanced, I guess. But I got into teaching. I don't know, I've been doing it 7-8 years now, so it's been a little bit. And I graduated college in 2011, so I was subbing for a few years until I got a full-time spot. And I don't know. Like I said, it's like to be just boxing full-time. It would be ideal, but it's not the way it goes. So
not yet.
But you being a special needs teacher, I mean, what have those kids shown you?
I mean, it makes you appreciate a lot of things. It makes you appreciate just basic things, just the fact that we can sit here and talk. The fact that you got an itch, you can scratch it. You need to go to the bathroom, you can do it. You're thirsty, you can tell, like, just little things like that you don't even think about on a daily basis.
We take for granted.
You just take it for granted. You oversee it. So there's times where you're like, man, I'm tired. You're like, nah, fuck that. These kids if they could get up and go to the gym, they will go. I gotta go. So there's little things like that's like keeps you motivated. Where it's like you don't realize how much you're taking for granted, how much you can do you see it every day in front of you, what you can actually do to what you couldn't do. Just little things like when I had surgery on my shoulder, I'd learned how to brush my teeth with the other hand. Learn how to do things like things were difficult. It was hard to do a lot of things where imagine living every day like that. Imagine your whole life like that. Imagine worse.
Right.
Imagine, so it really makes you appreciate and opens your eyes with a lot of things that you can't just, tomorrow. Nah, get up now and do it. Because if they had just one day to do it, they would do it. So how are you going to put it off one day? Like, just makes you think about a lot of things like that.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
So that's a good drive though.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about what we're gonna say. You gonna come off again?
I was gonna ask you.
Again?
I was gonna ask. Did you watch last night's fights?
Nah.
You didn't?
Mm.
You don't watch boxing?
Nah, I do, but some fights I do, sometimes I don't. Just depends.
Gotcha.
I didn't check last night.
But I'm gonna throw it out there. We have a Cuban that became world champion yesterday, Robesi Ramirez.
Choo choo! El tren, baby. Patria vida, libertad. You already know because he represents that to the fullest, so we gotta represent it too.
Won by unanimous decision. But I know there's something you want to say about his opponent.
Yeah, Isaac, man. We're gonna go back to you, but yeah, he made a really slick remark after the fight. The scorecards were read. He said, I don't have the exact words, but basically that those were dictatorship scorecards. That's a disgrace for you even saying that, because in Cuba there's a lot of people that are living in poverty, and that was mad disrespectful for you saying that shit for the Cuban community. And man, hopefully you say something about that, about your words, because they weren't sportsmanlike. So, and you got beat like a dog.
He got what he deserved then.
Yeah. So you want to say something back on that? You want to follow up?
Not really, but yeah, the words were more around the lines of you want to talk about dictatorship in Cuba. These scorecards or this was a dictatorship.
And then he also said, and if you really care about the Cuban people,
he was throwing shade at Cuban. That's kind of fucked up.
And he also said, if you really care about the Cuban people, just run it back. Like there's nothing to run back. You got whooped.
No, you're whack.
You got whooped.
You're whack.
And you got whooped.
And he's whack.
And you got whooped.
And if he sees us in the street, he wouldn't say that.
It's pressure too, dog. It is what it is. And like no disrespect. You were a champion, but that was out of line. That was whack.
You're a middleweight. Mm-hmm. Have you ever sparred Xander Zayas?
Nah, I haven't.
You haven't. That would be great work for you in the future. But have you sparred his stablemate, Nika Sexashvili or something?
No.
Do you even know who he is?
Nah.
All right. Well, that's one of his stablemates. He fought yesterday. A good prospect named Jahai Tucker. You ever seen him fight, Tucker?
Nah.
Nika rocked Tucker the first round, had him out of his feet, and Tucker came back and beat the shit out of him every single round and called Xander out at the end of the fight. So that's a good fight I want to see too, Tucker versus Xander. But that would be some great work for you.
Yeah.
Xander.
I mean, I know him, but it's like when I started boxing, he was still like a kid. He was like a little kid. He was in the juniors and stuff. Right. And then, I mean, we've known each other since, but just never worked together.
Yeah, I sparred him once when we were kids. We were younger. But yeah, no, he's top.
Yeah,
top level.
He's improved and he's gotten so much bigger and so much stronger. And so, so much more experience. He's a very good fighter.
Who's your favorite 160 right now?
It's tough to say. Favorite weight class,
it's tough
but
to say, but it's. Honestly, I'm a big Triple G fan. I really like Triple G. I can
see that coming from you.
Yeah, I like how he fights, and I like, I like his defense. People overlook his defense so much because of his power. His defense is so underrated. It's so subtle. Everything's so subtle and so much better than what people understand, other than people that actually understand boxing. But the average fan just, he's powerful. Yeah, but there's so much more to him that you just don't realize that.
Well, he's a technician.
There's those little things that I try to do a lot of things that he does, because nothing's like out of control where you can't. It's not like he's Roy Jones where he's so athletic that you can't mirror some of the things he does. It's so technical and so basic, but so effective.
Yeah.
And he's got so much power. He's so good offensively, but his defense, he just does a lot of things that are very good, very smart.
The thing is, his defense is not flashy. It's
not at all.
None of that. It's, catch with his elbows, catch and shoot. He'll do small slips. But the thing about Triple G is that footwork.
Yeah.
People don't talk about it because, like we said, it's not flashy.
Yeah.
But its placements are perfect.
Mm-hmm.
He's never crossing his feet. He's never making big mistakes.
He's always balanced.
His footwork is on point. His balance is amazing.
He knows the distance. Even being a pressure fighter and always being in your face, he knows the distance to be just far enough away. He knows how to just make everything slip off nothing misses by a mile. That's why the average fan doesn't see it.
Exactly.
But everything just misses.
Facts.
That's why he's close to counter. That's why it's very, very good.
And when he has been cracked, his balance is so good that people don't understand that it's not just the chin, it's just his damn balance is great, you know? Because there's a lot of shots that you can be off balance and you get dropped, although you're not hurt, but his balance is always on point.
Yeah, because it's more like it surprises you than it does hurt you.
Right.
Can't surprise him because he sees everything coming. He's been hit with some big shots. Canelo hit him with some big shots.
Stood there.
Never even blinked.
Exactly. I know that
stuff's impressive.
I know Triple G's out, he's out the door. He has 1 foot in, 1 foot out already, but that would be a dream fight for you, right?
I mean, of course, but
Big paycheck
not really.
too.
I mean, he's a scary dude to have to fight because that power, but I mean,
can't say no to that fight though.
Yeah, I mean, I would take it, of course, because it's what other stage could you be on that's bigger than that? But
Facts.
I mean, it would be awesome to be able to have a chance to learn from him. And even if you're in the ring, even if you're mismatched, the amount of things you could learn and take from that to move forward it'd be unmatched.
Another thing we forgot to state is the jab. One of the best jabs in boxing.
He never lets it go. He never.
It's not
he's
fast.
So dedicated to
it's not fast. It's just consistent.
And it's always there.
And the distance on it is great. It's always touching you. I mean, that's the second fight. He peppered Canelo up with those jabs.
Yeah.
Canelo landed more power shots. It was flashier. Had better. But that jab was on Canelo's forehead all fight. And that's why some people were like, "Oh, Triple G won."
I thought.
Who do you think won?
I think Canelo won the second fight by a close fight, by like one round.
I think Triple G won the first one. I think the second one could have been a draw.
Agreed.
If it wasn't a draw, probably Canelo, like you said, by maybe a round or so. But
I have the same thing. First fight, Triple G won the fight. It wasn't even a discussion. He won the fight, but you know how boxing is. The cash cow is Canelo.
Yeah.
The second fight could have been a draw, but I'll say Canelo because Canelo really did prove a lot that fight.
Yeah.
And he came forward and he pushed the boogeyman back and he landed some big shots.
Yeah.
I think for the third fight, like we said, he needed to put a statement, Canelo, and knock him out. Obviously, I know it's hard to knock out Triple G, but he needed that statement. For his career and his legacy, I think. He's still going to be labeled as one of the GOATs, but I think that fight,
he
needed to really hurt Triple G, how he was hurt his last 2 fights. And
He whooped.
Canelo didn't really,
Yeah. Now he whooped Triple G up the first 7-8 rounds. He dominated.
But
The last 4, Triple G dominated.
So that's why he didn't really stamp it how he should have.
Yeah.
He did it.
But that's a tough
guy.
A tough guy to try to take out and try to have to do that again. So you can only do so much against somebody that's that good.
But he hasn't looked good after that fight. Really hasn't looked good.
Who, Canelo?
Yeah. He hasn't. He
In
lost
com-
to he
I
lost
mean,
to
in
Bivol.
He knocked out Plant.
in comparison to who he's
Well,
fighting.
Plant, okay, yeah, I'm sorry, but even though Plant was giving him issues the early rounds, and then he lost to Bivol.
I don't know. I'm not. I don't think Plant did much against him.
Who?
Plant. I don't really think Plant.
Well, he won a few rounds.
3 rounds were
The
competitive.
early rounds he was winning.
But it was when I watched the Plant fight against Canelo or Benavidez. It was like
not doing enough.
he didn't do it. He did enough to avoid to not get hurt, but he didn't really do anything to take the rounds. He was maybe winning those rounds because he maybe throw a couple of little quick combinations and do a little thing, but he really wasn't doing anything effective. He was just not getting hit. He was like managing the rounds more than he was winning the rounds. But because the other guys were a little bit more passive, you could say he won the rounds, but really to me it's like you just made the rounds boring. They both made the rounds boring until the other person stepped on the gas and then they were too much for him. But it was, people try to say, oh, well, he was boxing. No, he wasn't boxing. He really wasn't doing anything. He just wasn't. The other person was just being passive and catching his timing, and I don't know.
What do you think about him fighting now John Ryder, which is kind of not a known fighter like that? At least here in the
But he
States.
deserves that, though. He deserves that little tune-up. After surgery, he deserves it.
Canelo?
Yeah, he deserves it.
I mean,
he deserves it.
He doesn't back down from anybody, so he can get one of those. I mean, it's a good opportunity for the person too, because the guy he's fighting, because it's like this guy might have put himself in that position and nobody's heard of him, so he doesn't get that chance. But now he gets that chance because, I put myself in a position like that guy is like you're a guy not a lot of people have heard of, but now you get that big chance and get to be on that stage. You never know what you can do with it. I mean, probably he's not going to be Canelo, but
you never know.
He gets to be, you never know. He's got that chance.
Just like you being a champion. It's there.
Yeah, there's the opportunities there, but at the end of the day, he gets to be on that stage for however many rounds he stays there, and then he gets to, I mean, that's there forever.
What do you think about a Canelo and Benavidez at 168?
Yeesh.
Woo!
For the last 3 years, I've been saying the only person that can beat Canelo was Benavidez until he went up to Bivol and all that. But at his weight was Benavidez. But after watching that Plant fight, I don't know. I don't think Benavidez. He was trying to land the big power punch. He wasn't boxing at all.
Wasn't
early
setting it
on.
up, nothing.
And I started to get, because I wanted Benavidez to win. I'm like, I was starting to get nervous, round 6-7. I'm like, if this guy doesn't start doing something, he's gonna lose
Plant
just because
did win.
nothing's happening.
Plant did win 3 or 4 of the early rounds.
And it was and he was winning because nothing was happening. But he was in a couple little combinations.
And he would
then Benavidez was just missing punches. So
but the referee was also helping Plant out.
Yeah, for sure. But
the monster being the monster,
he wasn't using the jab
You know.
like he normally does. He wasn't doing a lot of things that he normally does. And I'm like, if Plant's got better footwork than Canelo as far as moving around, but
Yeah, he does.
if Benavidez is out there just trying to throw big power punches, Canelo's going to see them coming and come back. And if he's going to be hitting them hard back, I don't know. That might give Benavidez a lot more trouble than I would have thought of before that fight.
it's a firefight, man.
Canelo has amazing defense.
Yeah.
With the waist movement and moving.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be in the pocket. He's gonna be in the mid.
Oh yeah,
inside,
Canelo
so-
don't run from nobody.
Yeah.
And I can see Canelo probably stopping Benavidez.
I don't see.
He's
it.
gonna be too stationary, I think. And he's gonna. I don't know. I think he's gonna
don't see it.
unleash some crazy power hooks to the body, uppercuts.
I think Canelo wins, but I don't see him stopping Benavidez. I don't see it.
I could see it maybe happening just because he throws every punch to kill you. So
Yeah,
if he
Those
lands
punches.
any couple of those punches, Plant landed a couple punches, he just doesn't have power. So he really wasn't hurting Benavidez, but if Canelo lands those punches, it's a different story. So
Canelo's definitely a better boxer than Plant. So
he's the GOAT, man.
yeah, not the GOAT, but
He's the GOAT.
I would like to
this
see
generation
Canelo.
he's top.
Yeah,
notch.
I would like to see Canelo win this fight, then fight Benavidez, then go back to Bivol. Because if he goes and he loses to Bivol, then it's like, you're only fighting him because you can't beat those guys. If he goes and beats him, he's not going to come back to him. He's going to want something bigger. They might probably have a rematch.
He won't beat
Then
Bivol.
I know he definitely won't, but just in case he does, it leaves now it's like Benavidez. I think they should fight first and then Bivol.
I think he should avoid Bivol.
I
I think he should avoid Bivol, and
Yeah,
it's
I
not
think
because
so, too.
Bivol is just gonna. It's not because Bivol is gonna take his head off.
He's just too big.
It's just the boxing skills, all the straight punches, that European style.
Yeah.
It
That
poses him problems.
and weight classes are made for
for a reason.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You gotta give Canelo his flowers.
Canelo, yeah,
For
I
him doing
do.
that.
I always do. Canelo's not even that a big 168.
He's not. He's
He's
small.
not. That's not his natural weight. He's just a good boxer.
Yeah.
You know, a good boxer. But he's not really a 168 pounder like a Benavidez is. That's a real.
Bivol's too big, too strong. His footwork's too good. People underestimate his footwork too.
His footwork is amazing.
He's got that Russian style where his footwork.
Yeah,
You
in
watch
and out,
Canelo, every
in and
time
out.
Canelo got him to the ropes, he was back to the middle of the ring.
He
before you
would
knew
turn
it.
him around, keep using his
Always.
footwork, and then the in and out with the jab and the right hand.
What do you think about this? Beat Canelo and Bivol 168 with a hydration clause.
Oh no. That's different, but I wouldn't recommend that for anybody. That rehydration clause
But
is
let's say it were to happen, Canelo. What do you think? You think that changes the fact?
It could give him. It depends because like Drew knows from cutting weight that affects you in the later half of the fight.
Yeah.
And Bivol is a 12-round fighter, so if he doesn't have that 12 round in him, Canelo could stop him late.
That might happen. You know why? Because Canelo's the cash cow.
I wouldn't do it.
But exactly, I don't think these people would do it.
I wouldn't
Doesn't
do
make sense.
Doesn't make
He's
sense.
already the champ, so why is
Exactly.
he going to turn
But
somebody else's?
Canelo's the one that holds the weight, though. He holds the money.
Yeah.
So
it. Yeah.
he probably has the last saying.
We just spoke about. You just mentioned weight rehydrations and weight clauses. What do you think about Garcia and Tank? What do you got?
I think Tank's going to knock him out.
Me too.
I'm not a big fan of Garcia. I think he's technically he's not. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of him.
I'm not a big fan of Garcia either. However, I respect him for taking this fight. you
Yeah.
know?
I like the fact that he's been trying to get big fights. I don't really respect him all that much as a fighter, but he's been, at least social media wise, trying to put it out there that he wants these fights and stuff.
Well, he wants Tank. We can't say he wants the big fights because he was the mandatory for Devin Haney and he ducked his ass.
Yeah.
So we can't really say he wants all the big fights.
Tank is also smoked too, though.
Huh?
Tank is also smoked.
Yeah,
So-
great. But he ducked for a world title Okay, so we
yeah.
can't say that he wants everybody.
But sometimes money, because I'm pretty.
Nah,
the
bro,
tank fight
nah.
brings more money,
Nah.
and sometimes it's not all about being a champion. I don't know.
What
Maybe
it-
not
nah,
so.
it
Maybe not
brings
so
money.
early
It's
on in his
Garcia's
career.
a household name. It brings money and it brings a belt.
No.
Devin Haney was the way to
Him
go.
fighting Tank
He
brings
ducked
way
him.
more money.
He was the number one mandatory, bro. Like that's
But,
why.
okay,
That's
but
why.
you, okay, but you think
Stop
Haney brings more
defending
money?
him, bro.
No,
That's why.
I'm saying the truth.
What?
You think Haney brings more money than Tank?
I didn't say that. I said Garcia is a household name. It's gonna bring money. It may not be as much as Tank, but it's gonna bring money and it's gonna bring him a belt.
I'm not defending Garcia because I get where you're coming from. Being
why.
a champion is, the motivation, the
What's the
motive
point
of
of
the
boxing?
sport.
What's the point of boxing? You're supposed to fight your mandatories, and now you're the mandatory. You don't want to fight the champion.
Yeah.
That's whack.
I feel you.
It's whack when the champion doesn't give you the opportunity. How about when you have the opportunity and you dodge the champion? You're
I
whack,
feel you,
bro.
But Garcia's also young too. This big opportunity presented itself first for more money.
No,
Hey.
it didn't. The interim the to fight Devin Haney
Yeah, but he was
presented
gonna.
itself
Yeah, but he was
first.
gonna make.
He was calling out
maybe in the
Tank.
long run, he knew that he was gonna get the tank fight, and he made it happen. He was gonna get more money.
That's whack, bro. It's
I
whack.
can
It's whack.
I can understand your opinion, but you have to understand
No, it's not an
his too,
opinion.
though.
It's not an opinion. It's a fact.
No, you can't say it's a fact.
What's not a fact? The fact that
He's
he
gonna make
ducked.
more millions. I'm
Stop
talking
that.
about that.
Stop.
No, I'm talking
the fact
about
that he ducked the
Okay.
champion.
Hey, but
That's a duck.
you can't really say Doug because I mean he's fighting Tank, and Tank is a monster. So you really can't. You're making it seem like he's scared of Devin Haney.
Devin Haney is a tougher fight for him. He's bigger and all that. Yeah, that's the way he sees it. I think Tank is gonna put his ass out.
And that can happen, but Haney is not gonna put lights out on Garcia. That's a fact.
You don't know that, number one.
I don't. But,
I don't
but
think
realistically,
he doesn't hit as hard as Tank. No, he doesn't.
So
but
I'm
he's
gonna be more scared of fighting Tank.
but he's a more complete fighter than Tank is. So that's why he ducked him.
I'd rather get a whooping than getting knocked out, and that's what he's going into. So clearly, you can't that ducking that
It's a
you're
duck.
saying.
It's a duck, my friend. He ducked him, and I'll tell you why. Their fight with Tank was not signed. It was not on papers. It was
All right.
nothing. He
So
ducked
if
him.
Drew right here was a champion, and you and Andrew right here, right? They were offering me 10 mil to fight him with the possibility of getting a belt, but they were giving me 20 to fight you. It's hard. You're put in a tough spot, and you can't say no. Can you agree with me?
Nah, I understand what you're saying.
Like, come
Yeah,
on, man.
yeah.
Like 20 mil compared to 10.
But-
Yeah, I
but
get
this-
it. Being a
but
champion.
how much of a difference would it really have been?
It's not going to be a 20-10 difference. It's not.
Yeah, because they're
Maybe not either, but-
Haney's still a big name too.
He's still a
so-
big name, and not only that, he's undisputed now. Bro.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. And aside from
Yeah,
that,
but with pay-per-view buys, and
aside
all
from that,
good
you
stuff,
you made it differently. You made it like if they were both on a platter and he picked the money. That's different. I could respect that. And then coming back to Devin Haney, that's cool, bro. It was just Devin Haney on the platter. Tank was not even there yet. He ducked him, and then he was calling out Tank and Tank and Tank. He ducked him, bro.
Did that to like redeem himself for ducking him, I think.
And then you move up a weight class. Come on, bro. It's a duck, my brother. It's a duck. Don't forget that.
It's a good fight, though. It's still a good fight, though.
But when he was a
man,
man, another reason, he ducked him and fought like 2 times.
Yeah.
You feel me? It's not like he ducked and went to Tank. Then, well, I gotta stay quiet. He chose the big money fight, and it's a dangerous fight.
Yeah.
He fought twice. He fought Fortuna. He's whack. He's whack. Get out of here. You got Tank sparking him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, me
I
too.
think Garcia really was just trying to take the Tank fight because if he loses,
It's a win-win.
It's an easier like criticism. Like, well, I got beat up by him rather than Haney. You get outboxed by Haney for 12 rounds. People gonna clown you. You get knocked out. It's like, he knocks out everybody.
Anybody can get caught.
So, yeah,
right.
so it's like easier for him because I don't know. I don't really respect a lot of fighters that are like Garcia. He's like 5'11". I fight at 136. Fight people your size. Stop being like I don't really.
Hey, yo, don't be trying me, dog. I'm 5'11". I was fighting at 140, dog.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, but that's amateur too. It's different. It's like I don't. It'd be like Benavidez fighting at 154. It's like you're too big for that. Stop trying to be. Just fight people your size. I don't like people that do stuff like that. People that are too big and they're at such a low weight. I don't know. I have a hard time respecting them. Me personally. So when I see him being that big and then he's complaining about, oh, well, I can't eat, I can't drink. For one, it's bullshit. But two, just move up. Go up. Go to 147 then. Go to.
Oh, but he
go
stated
to
that because of the
anything.
rehydration clause that Tank put him on.
Yeah, but I don't even know.
Which is some bitch ass shit from.
that's another thing.
Which
too.
is soft.
I think
It's
some of
kinda
that's
soft.
bullshit though. I think he's
No.
full of shit.
He was exaggerating. He was talking
Yeah.
shit about the water and the food and all that.
Yeah.
He was exaggerating the situation. But
clowning it.
what he was trying to do was clown the fact that Tank put him on a rehydration clause. Tank being the boogeyman.
Yeah.
This big bad killer.
Which is
knockout
true.
artist.
It makes you
Which
think
is soft.
like,
It's soft. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
soft.
Why are you
from
so
Tank.
scared?
That's soft. That's soft. That's soft. Tank should have just been like, yeah, I'll fight you. Whatever. Tank should have done instead of put a rehydration clause, I think you'll agree with me, is Tank should have said, I'm not doing no catch weight. Fight me at 135, no rehydration clause. That's what Tank should have done. Because he's a 35 pounder, not a 36 pounder. That's what should have happened. The rehydration clause is kind of soft.
Yeah. And Garcia looks ripped in those pictures that he's putting up on Instagram. He looks.
Well, he's always been.
No, but he looks. He doesn't look like he's having a hard time for that weight.
Well, we won't know that until the fight comes.
We won't know.
And he's in there for 6, 7, 8 rounds. Yeah. Then we'll find out where he's at.
If he lasts that long.
My prediction is the earlier rounds, that's where he has the best option of winning.
I think he's going to come out aggressive as hell in the start because, that, like you said, that's his best chance.
And after the
got to come out and try to overpower him and overwhelm him like Rollies did.
I don't
try to overwhelm him.
And he needs to get the respect early on.
He can't last that long.
I don't think he's going to do that.
Too
I
risky
think he's
going
to try to box. Bro. Throw the left hook big.
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna try to be like
Rolly?
Coming out crazy like Rolly, but I think he's gonna be trying to be more aggressive than normal boxing. But I think he's gonna be trying to be as active as he can and win those rounds, like stealing those rounds.
Facts.
So that if it goes late, he has those rounds in his pocket.
Who you got?
You know what? I'm gonna go with Garcia.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with that. What I see, I'm gonna get you in a group chat.
I'm gonna get you in a group chat when that fight happens. I'll be like, yo.
I like Tank, but I just feel like the whole weight class, Garcia being the bigger person. My prediction is, I see Tank lunging in way too much, and Garcia catching him with a beautiful left hook. Boom, lights out. That's my prediction.
I mean, Garcia does have a legit left hook. But it's just a one shot.
Tank is gonna have to do a lot of reaching. To get into the pocket of Garcia.
But when you say reaching, he doesn't really reach. He's gonna have to because Garcia's
so big. He's gonna have to do a lot of reaching to get in there.
I could see him staying on the outside for the first few rounds and then being here the rest of the fight. And he's gonna give Ryan a hard time being too close. It's gonna scare him.
Not only that,
and it's gonna take away that left hook.
And when he cracks Ryan,
yeah.
But it's the same thing. If Ryan cracks a Tank too. Tank's gonna be like, whoa.
I think Tank's defense is underrated too. He's got a lot better defense than people.
And when he gets hit, he kind of allows it, or he just catches it with his elbows.
But he gets hit a lot though.
He does get hit. Yeah. He does get hit
unnecessarily.
Yes, but it's like I just said. It's not like somebody that gets hit and is avoiding to get hit. No, Tank is kind of like walking into shots because he's walking you down.
But I don't think he's gonna be able to walk Garcia down. And especially not in the early rounds.
Maybe not in the early round, but I guarantee you past 4th round, we're going to see Garcia on his bicycle if he lasts that long. But you say you don't like tall guys, which I found disrespectful because, you know. Well, you too, motherfucker. You should take offense to that. But, hey.
I'm not a fighter no more, dog. Straight.
But for real, next weekend, Sebastian Fundora is 6'5", fighting at 154, fights Brian Mendoza.
But he's skinny as hell though. The mass isn't there.
But you can bulk up. You can be a grown.
He could be at 160 at least. He could be a middleweight at least.
Well, 160. What do you think about that fight, you and him? How would you fight him?
Fundora is a problem.
Yeah, but how would you fight him? Being 6'5" at 160, what would you do to him?
Throw big ass overhand right.
Bang that body.
I would have to just try to be in his face the whole time because I can't outreach him. So there's no sense in trying to be out and giving him the opportunity to box. Got to be in there and just try to fight him and just try to be in his face and just make it ugly and make it as like a street fight. Just make it aggressive and be dirty and just be and just you got to just be as aggressive and there's no way to give him any reach. He's gonna put it on you because he's so big. So take away his reach and just be in his face. Be the only thing you can do.
I have a good one. Before we wrap this up, give me your top 3 right now. Your top 3 favorite fighters.
That's tough.
While you think about it, I got Fundora stopping Mendoza.
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't know about no.
I got him stopping.
And they're both Cubans, by the way. They're half Cuban.
Damn, bro, you see me choking half this episode. You had water here the whole time, bro. Damn, all right, give us your top 3, champ.
I mean, I like Benavidez. I like him a lot, so we'll say Benavidez is up there.
Okay. Yeah.
I like.
Damn, Benavidez.
I mean, I like Boo Boo Andre just because I know him.
He's complicated. Yeah.
He's very, very.
How do you know him?
Very tricky. We're from the same area, so I mean, I've trained with him and stuff a few times and stuff. And
here or in Massachusetts?
Here, but when I go home, trains in the same gym with his strength and conditioning coaches from my city and stuff. So I know him.
That's dope.
I know him like as a friend, so
He's top level.
He's so good. He's so tricky, and he's so
Southpaw.
he makes people. he gives people hard.
He's
hard
not getting
time.
the fights that he's supposed to. Like, it's
Yeah,
hard.
but I think he's going to, because even, people started saying his name. Benavidez just mentioned his name after his fight, the Charlos. Something's gonna have to happen because.
But the problem is
there,
time.
so-
Time is ticking, and
Yeah.
time comes for everybody. And and like you stated, you started boxing at 27, so your wear and tear is not as much as somebody that started boxing at 7, like he did.
So I mean,
Yeah, Benavidez,
he'll get
Boo
Benavidez, Boo Boo, and then I don't know. I kind of like Bivol now. Now that style.
Bivol.
I mean, it's
But that's
it's easy
that's
to
a
say Canelo
contradicting
and all
that's
these
a
people.
contradicting style to you. And
No, it is very different. But that's why I said Benavidez first, because it's like come forward and just fight. But after watching Bivol against Canelo and seeing how skilled he actually is, and then watching his next fight, I was like, man, this guy he's impressive to watch. He's fun to watch.
Real quick, I have 2 questions, so this is a 2-part question. But the first question, you mentioned you like Benavidez, you like Bivol. Who do you think would win that fight once Benavidez moves up to 175?
I think Bivol. I think he's too
Better boxer.
He's too talented, and he's a fighter and a boxer. So you're gonna fight him. He's gonna be strong, and he's gonna be in there. Those Russians are like machines.
They're tough.
You're not gonna be in just
Tough dudes.
beating him up like that. But then his footwork's too good. I think he would just give him a lot of trouble. He's a very tough guy to figure out. So I think he would beat him. And then he's gonna be Benavidez got to go up. So now he's not used to that way. He's gonna have to have a few fights and then take that one if that happens.
Right.
And I think
Bivol would outbox him too.
Yeah.
You agree, right?
Easily.
And my second question, which is my last question, a big fight that I wish would have happened a few years ago is Haney and Lomachenko. I'm a huge fan of Lomachenko, but Haney is big. Who you got?
I think Lomachenko's gonna beat him.
Really?
Yeah. I think he's the only thing that stops Lomachenko or a guy like him is power. And he don't have that. That's why Teofimo gave him such a hard time, because he was powerful and was stopping his movement, stopping all his angles. I don't think Haney can do that. Haney's gonna be out there, and I think he's gonna try to move too much. He's gonna be trying to box him and trying to keep him away with the jab. And if you're trying to keep him away with that long jab, he's gonna feed off that. That's where all his counters and angles are gonna come from. So all those long punches, that's exactly what he wants you to throw. So like when he fought Linares, he was every week couldn't find him. All these bigger guys, he's gonna get those angles, and the longer your punches, the longer it takes to get there and back. He's behind you.
Facts.
I think he's gonna beat him.
Something you said that you don't like a lot, the weight bullying. David Haney's gonna be. I think he's gonna be the weight bully.
Yeah.
He is,
Uh-huh.
and I think that's gonna be a
Yeah,
big advantage towards him.
He's gonna go into that fight close to
Huge.
160. Close to 160.
And like you said, Haney doesn't have that power, but he does have the moves. He does have the IQ.
Yeah.
He is the fresher fighter. He's
Younger.
younger. Loma's last fight did not look good at all.
At all.
A lot of surgeries, a lot of wear and tear. Over 300 amateur fights. I think Father Time is catching up to him.
Yeah, it could be.
And the size is the big difference.
And the size.
But
Now they were both just okay.
what's
but
that Bruce Leroy? The Bruce Lee line you say? My heart wants Lomachenko, but my mind says Devin Haney. I think Devin Haney wins, but I would like to see Loma win.
Depends on Loman's mindset going into it. Depends on how he thinks he has to. If he's like, okay, I'm getting older, this may be my last big fight, I gotta go. I think he's gonna give it to him.
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't think only mindset. I think it's what Loma shows up. If it's the Loma from last fight, I think Devin Haney wins. If it's the Loma from 3-4 years ago, I think Loma wins.
That's hard though, man. His last fights haven't been, and then he's just coming off a surgery. I mean, I don't know.
It's either do it or don't, though.
But Lomachenko, he's a Hall of Famer for sure.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of surgeries, wear and tear, But
it'll be a good fight though. I'm glad boxing is forcing all these bigger fights. The fans that wants
this
fans
year,
want to see. Because this is what's making people take an interest in boxing again. Yeah. Because it started being too much where it was like
money,
big name and nobody. This and that, duck and duck and
duck.
It
was a money grab.
It
was a money grab.
How many years have we waiting for Garcia and Tank or Haney or that? Now all of them are being forced to fight.
And Benavidez just fought.
Everybody, all these fights. Now.
I don't want to give them hype because it's kind of like disrespectful to us boxing fans that we haven't gotten the fight. But Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence.
They need to force that fight.
I don't want to hype it up.
We gotta wrap it up. We gotta wrap it up. But who do you got?
Yeah. I like Errol Spence.
Woo! Wrap it up, baby.
You know why?
Wrap it up, baby.
You know why?
Wrap that shit up.
You know why I knew he would say Spence? Because it's his style. He likes that bully, come forward.
Wrap it up, baby. Errol Spence. I don't want to hype them up though because they don't deserve that hype because they're.
I got Crawford stopping him late, but I mean.
But it's a good fight, and I can see that opinion too. I respect your opinion, but you gotta respect Mike's too.
Yeah, I do.
See him.
Spencer's a G.
It's a very even fight.
It's a very even fight.
Spencer's a G.
You got Errol Spence, right?
Yeah.
Did you bring the glove?
Yeah.
Did you bring the glove or you forgot
I
it?
have in my truck.
All right, so you sign the glove when we get out. But brother, I appreciate you for coming, man. It's pretty dope how much you've progressed in the sport of boxing. I did want to say that. I forgot to say that in the beginning. You've progressed a lot, bro. I remember your first 2 amateur fights. You was just a big throwing haymakers and shit. Now you're a fundamental boxer, and that's cool for me to see it from you, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I quit boxing, but
and one thing, man, him being a baseball player, having
coming late and starting late,
and then wanting to try this sport and actually be a professional fighter. That says a lot about you and your character as a man,
Yeah, appreciate that.
That's dope, brother. But
hope to see
again,
you back,
thank you
maybe.
for coming, bro.
Yeah,
thanks for giving us a dope ass episode, some predictions and stuff. So, but for everybody that viewed, I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for the next one. Peace.